Hello Year 5. Today we're going to be looking at prime and composite numbers, reminding ourselves what is a prime number and what is a composite number, and hopefully getting some tips about how we can work out whether a number is actually prime or composite. So let's start first of all with composite numbers. Now the word composite actually gives us a hint as to what a composite number is. There's a similar word called composition, and all the musicians will know about a composition. Okay, a composition is composed by the composer. So that's the base word here of composite, and composition is compose or composer. Okay, and compose just means to make or to create. Compose means to make. So a composite number is a number that is made, if you like. It is made of other numbers. Now, how are numbers made from other numbers, you ask? Well, of course we have these things called factors. Now, to give you an example, let's take the number 6. The number 6 has factors. Now, all numbers have factors of 6, of the same number and the number 1. So we can multiply 6 ones to get 6. But the number 6 also has two other factors, two other numbers that can multiply together to give us that number, and that is, of course, 2 and 3. So 2 3s are 6. So what we say is that 6, because it can be made from 2 and 3 multiplied together, 6 is what we call a composite number. 6 is composite. Okay. Now, if you keep going, you'll get to the next even number will be 8. Now 8 ones are 8, but also 2 fours are 8. Okay, so again there are factors there that can be used to compose the number 8. So 8 is also a composite number. Okay, and we can keep going up with the even numbers. Every even number has a factor of 2 and another number. So all even numbers above 3, all even numbers are composite. So that's a good way to know. You can say for sure that if it's a large even number, it's going to be a composite number. Okay, but there are other examples of composite numbers, of course, that aren't multiples of 2. So we could have a number like 9, for example. Okay, it's an odd number, but it's also has factors. So of course it's got 9 times 1, but it also has a factor of 3. 3 3s are 9. Okay, so 9 is another example of a composite number because it's composed of different factors. So let's look now at our prime numbers. And the word prime actually tells us a bit about what a prime number is as well. Here now, sure you would recognise our Prime Minister. Okay, and another person you might, character you might have come across, Optimus Prime. Okay, one of the Transformers. Now, these two, they don't look very similar, but they have something in common, of course, in their name, the word prime. And prime actually means first. So I'm going to write that up here. Prime equals first. Okay. So the Prime Minister is the first minister in the cabinet. Optimus Prime was one of the first Transformers to be created. So prime means first. So what's a prime number then? Well, a prime number is one of those first numbers that has no other factors. Okay, it's the first numbers that we can make other numbers from. So if we look again, remember number 6. Remember 6 was composite. 6 has a factor of 3 and a factor of 2. Now, if we take the number 3 for a moment and just circle the number 3 there in red. Now, the only factors of 3 are 3 and 1. There are no other ways of composing the number 3. So we say that 3 is prime. Okay, we can't get any other factors out of 3. It's the same with the number 2, actually. It's the only even number that is prime because the only factors of 2 are 2 and it's 1 in itself, 2 and 1. Okay, so both 3 and 2 are prime numbers. We can't break them down into any other factors. Okay, so some other examples of prime numbers. Obviously 7 is another prime number. Okay, only factors of 7. 7 times 1 is 7, but no other factors. 13 is another one. Okay, you can only have 1 times 13. That's all you can do. All right, so these are prime numbers. So prime numbers are generally odd numbers, but not all odd numbers are prime. So we saw that 9, which is an odd number, is a composite number. Okay, so you've got to be a bit careful about that. And 15 as well is another example. It's actually a composite number because it's 5 and 5 threes are 15. Okay, so 15 is actually composite and not prime. All right, so let's just review. If a number can be created by different factors, then it is a composite number. But if a number has no factors except for 1 and itself, it is what we call a prime number. Okay, so let's just test ourselves here. Let's take the number 26, prime or composite. What do you think? Okay, well, it's first of all, it's an even number, isn't it? Okay, so it's got to have a factor of 2 there somewhere, and 2 13s are 26. Okay, so it is composite. Okay, what about a number like 23? Okay, 23, is it prime or composite? Okay, well, can you think of any other factors, any other numbers that make up 23? No, I can't. All I can think of is 23 and times 1. There are no other factors of 23, so 23 is in fact a prime number. And that's how you recognise prime and composite. Hope that's been helpful.